I want to talk to you about 5 things that will help us make peace with our past. And the first is the one I will spend the most time on because I think it is the most critical and the most important. And it is this, that we must forgive ourselves. In spiritual practice, there is a lot written about, and I know from this platform I've talked frequently about the importance of practicing forgiveness. And I believe that, in fact, most of the time when I talk about forgiveness, I'm usually talking about it in terms of forgiving someone else for something that they've done to us. And I think that is incredibly important. However, what is equally important, and I know I probably don't talk about enough, is the importance of forgiving ourselves as well. We've got to forgive ourselves. You might say, well, for what? Well, I don't know what you're holding inside of you that you need to forgive. That's probably a very private matter, very private matter. But what I do know is that we've all done things in our lives that we regret. We've all done things that we are embarrassed by or ashamed of. And if we have not done our deep inner work to make amends around that and then release ourselves from it, we're going to be holding ourselves back in very significant ways. My friend and colleague, Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones, who is a former or retired Science of Mind minister, wrote this in one of his recent blogs about forgiveness. He says, as long as you live in a human skin, is that all of us? I think so. As long as you live in a human skin, forgiveness is the one practice that you'll need to master because nothing will keep you stuck in the past more effectively than resentment and non-forgiveness. Think of it this way. What or who you don't forgive, you drag into the new year with you. To forgive is to erase the negative energy that keeps you from entering the new year with a clean blackboard. This includes forgiving yourself as well. For what? Maybe you took advantage of someone and you know it and it's still eating at you and you feel ashamed of it. Maybe you did something that caused somebody to get fired. Maybe you gossiped about somebody or wrote something really negative on a social media page and that person is really still struggling because of what you said or what you wrote. Maybe you have been abusing some substance in your life. Maybe you are overexpending and keeping that secret from your partner, from your spouse. Maybe you've cheated on your partner. Maybe you've cheated on your income tax. I don't know what may be gnawing inside of you. But what I do know is that if we have done something that we know is wrong, if we have done something that we feel guilty for or ashamed of, that we are going to be holding ourselves back and probably making ourselves sick as well if we don't do the inner work, which includes making amends. Forgiveness is never, whether it's forgiving ourselves or forgiving another, is never about condoning behavior that is harmful, unethical, illegal, or wrong. It's never about that. But it is about untying ourselves from the past, untying ourselves from that particular activity, untying ourselves from the resentment and the bitterness that we feel around it. And in order to do that, when and where appropriate, and it's almost always appropriate, we must make amends.
Thanks for listening. The Unity Center, transforming lives and healing our world. Check us out Sundays at 9 and 11. Subscribe to our podcasts and download our free app for instant access to a wealth of spiritual teachings, services, and events.